The ocean is a mysterious and breathtaking place. It holds wonders beyond imagination, but also dangers that can change lives forever. What started as a perfect family outing on a bright, sunny day turned into the most terrifying experience of my life. My 7-year-old son was left alone in the middle of the ocean, struggling against the waves, abandoned, not by strangers, but by his own family. This is the story of how one mistake nearly cost me my son. A story of fear, regret, and an unbelievable fight for survival. Before we dive into this emotional roller coaster, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below if you've ever had a close call that changed your perspective on life. Your support helps me share more real-life stories that truly matter. The perfect day. It all began on what seemed like the perfect summer morning. The sun rose high in the sky, painting everything with golden light. The air was warm, the waves were calm, and excitement filled our home. My family, my husband, our 3 kids, my in-laws, and a few cousins had planned a boat trip to a secluded beach. My son Ethan had been looking forward to this day for weeks. He was a curious, adventurous boy with a love for the ocean that mirrored my own. He would always ask endless questions about the sea, marine life, and how waves worked. I had always told him that the ocean was our friend, but that day I realized how naive those words were. We packed our coolers with food, loaded the boat with supplies, and set sail, thinking it would be just another beautiful, memorable day. But we were so wrong. The calm before the storm. The boat ride was magical at first. The salty breeze tangled in our hair, and the sound of the waves was soothing. Ethan was particularly excited, leaning over the edge, pointing at fish beneath the surface, laughing at the seagulls soaring above us. We anchored near a secluded cove, a place we had visited a few times before. The water was crystal clear, and from where we stood, it seemed shallow and safe. Everyone rushed to jump in, splashing around, enjoying the coolness of the ocean against the heat of the sun. Ethan, of course, was eager to join. He had taken some swimming lessons, but he was still learning. I made sure he wore his life jacket, feeling reassured that he would be safe. He swam near the boat at first, sticking close to his older cousins, laughing and playing. Everything seemed fine, until it wasn't. The mistake that changed everything? At some point, the adults decided to take a break. We climbed back onto the boat, laid out towels, and started preparing snacks. The kids were still playing in the water, and we kept an eye on them. At least we thought we did. Then someone suggested moving the boat closer to shore so we could set up a small picnic on the beach. It seemed like a simple, harmless idea. The kids had already begun wading toward the shore, and we assumed everyone was following. I glanced toward the water and saw my 2 other children heading in. I thought Ethan was with them. I didn't count. I didn't double check. That single moment, one decision, one assumption, changed everything. As we started the engine and began moving the boat, a gut-wrenching scream shattered the air. "Mom! Mom!" It was Ethan. My heart stopped. I turned around and saw him, alone in the water, a tiny speck against the vast ocean. The boat had moved away from him, and he was drifting farther, caught in a current we hadn't noticed. The nightmare unfolds. Panic hit me like a tidal wave. Ethan was screaming, kicking his legs, trying to stay afloat. But the current was strong. His life jacket kept him above water, but I could see the terror on his face, his tiny arms flailing, reaching for us. I screamed at my husband to stop the boat. We fumbled in panic, trying to turn around, but the waves were against us. The boat was drifting farther, and Ethan was slipping away. I felt helpless, paralyzed with fear. My mind raced with horrible thoughts. What if he slipped out of his life jacket? What if he got pulled under? What if something was lurking beneath the water? The fight to survive. Then Ethan stopped screaming. He was still floating, but he was quiet. Too quiet. I couldn't take it anymore. Without another thought, I dove into the water. My arms and legs burned as I swam harder than I ever had in my life. The current fought against me, pushing me back, but I refused to give up. As I got closer, I could see Ethan's lips quivering. He was exhausted, barely able to keep his head up. When I reached him, I grabbed him and held him close. "I've got you, baby. I've got you," I whispered, trying to hold back my tears. He clung to me, sobbing. But we weren't safe yet. The boat was still too far. The current was strong, and I was getting tired. I waved frantically, screaming for help. Finally, my husband jumped in and swam toward us with a rope. He reached us, tied the rope around Ethan and me, and signaled to those on the boat to pull us in. It felt like an eternity, but we finally reached the side of the boat. Strong arms pulled Ethan up first, then me. I collapsed onto the deck, my body shaking, my heart pounding. Ethan clung to me, refusing to let go. "You left me," he sobbed, and those words shattered me into a million pieces. The lesson we will never forget. That day changed us forever. We learned in the most terrifying way that the ocean doesn't care about your plans, your happiness, or how careful you think you are. One mistake, one moment of distraction can turn your world upside down. From that day forward, we made strict rules. No assumptions, no carelessness when it comes to the water. We took extra safety precautions, educated our kids, and vowed never to let anything like that happen again. Ethan still loves the ocean, but now he understands its power. And so do we. If this story touched you, please take a second to like this video, subscribe, and comment below. Have you ever had a moment that changed your life forever? Let's share and learn from each other. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and never take the ocean or life for granted.